I want you to look for two things right away. One is, what is the universal in the poem? And by that I mean something that's a truth about being a human being on the planet, a feeling. It's something that is true for virtually anybody, any place, any time. It could be something as simple as the feeling of loss or impermanence, or the bliss of falling in love, or jealousy, or any kind of broad emotion that the poet is expressing. The second thing I want you to look at is, what is the realization of the speaker of the poem? Usually at the end of the poem, the speakers have a moment where they have an insight or revelation or realization, and focus in on that. And if you get those two things and look for those two things, you won't be distracted by all the other things, all the images and metaphors and symbols that we'll look at as part of the structure of the poem. But what the poem's really about is the universal and or the realization. The realization is in a particular time and place and situation that happens in the poem. The universal, however, is beyond the time and the place. Okay, that's why it's universal. Okay, and all art touches on the universal. This brings us to another question of, why does the poet write the poem in the first place? Poets write poems because they're moved by a deep feeling, and this deep feeling will then be expressed as what I'm calling the universal here. Okay? Poems don't create themselves out of mental puzzles, you know. They're the poet's desire as a human being to express something deep that they have felt and communicate that. So we'll look at these two things, and I'll ask you to focus in on those in our class discussions in Zoom, and my questions will go in that direction in the discussion threads that I'll want you to post. So those are the two things, the universal and the speaker's realization. And they can be kind of similar at times, but still they're different, because one, as I said, is bound in time and place and situation, and the other